Hello and good evening, and welcome to Shed. Hashtag Irish Bills Mafia. Me, Trevor. You're very welcome along this Tuesday night. Um, it's a very somber night here as a Buffalo Bills fan after what we watched last night and have watched for the last few weeks. It's been coming. Tonight's show, what I normally do is I go through my picks, what I do for the week, from the weekend before, and see how I get on. Then we'll talk about a few of the games, and then we'll talk about the Bills games usually, and that's usually the design of the show. But tonight's show will be kind of different. I will quickly go through the games at the end of the show and let you know how my predictions went. But tonight's show, I need to talk about the Buffalo Bills and what we watched last night. I'm on 4 hours sleep. That's what I got. That's the joys of being a fan of American football and supporting your team. And I watched that last night. And where do I start? So on Thursday night's video, I wanted and asked for the Buffalo Bills to do a few things. One was their defense to step up. Two was their defense had to step up a lot. Two was their offense to improve and look like the offense that we watched last year. And to say, did any of them things happen? No. Uh, I've read stuff today, and people have said stuff to me today about, oh, the defense improved in the second half. They, they did, but the Atlanta Falcons tired, firstly, and secondly, uh, it couldn't get any worse because that first half, the Atlanta Falcons should have had at least 40 points up on us. My God Almighty, we were terrible. You wouldn't fucking stop a cold, so you wouldn't. Um, it it's been awful. Like we lost the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship game, and leave out the black and white guys, right? The referees. Um, our defense still was a lot of the reason we went and lost that game that night because we couldn't stop, couldn't get to, couldn't put pressure on Mahomes, and couldn't stop them. Fair enough. So it was something we had to improve. Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott and Bobby Babbage and Joe Brady improved the squad on paper. It looks a brilliant squad. Looks like we are the strongest team in the NFL going off paper with all the guys they brought in. Yes, other teams will have stronger spots, but if you look at the teams, this Buffalo Bills team is second to none. We went out the first day. We played the Baltimore Ravens, and it was a miracle we won that game. It was Josh Allen and Josh Allen want to win. James Cook and a few others stood up because it wasn't our defense. We were pathetic. Um, it was like a hot knife through butter for Derrick Henry for most of that game. Now they didn't make a play, but a play at the end of the game that helped us get back, and in the end, then we did make a stop and we won it. That was grand, but my issues are still there. Our defense can't stop the run game, and our secondary is not, doesn't look any better. Maxwell Harrison, our rookie, might be out for most of the season by the looks of it. There's no comeback date. He was our number one pick, and no, it's not his fault. He's injured, but like we haven't improved there. Don't get me wrong. No disrespect to Jordan Poyer. He was elevated and played last night, but it's a sentimental thing to me in my eyes that brought him back more than it did Micah Hyde last year. Great servants, don't get me wrong. Have done a tremendous job for Buffalo. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dishing any of this. But right now, we're looking to win a Super Bowl in a team we have primed for the last few years to win a Super Bowl. You don't bring him back. You get a young guy, you bring in someone that has a couple of years' experience, is hungry, that wants to win. John Poyer might want to win, but his body is older than most of the younger guys is there. We move on to the Jets. I'm going to be ranting and raving here for this next while. We played the Jets. Defense did well, hammered them. Offense played well. Happy days. It was a good divisional win. It was an improvement on defensive side of the game, and in the fourth quarter, most of our starters rested. Perfect. That's what we wanted. The games you can win doesn't nothing to do with who you're playing, but if they're a poor roster, and the Jets are, then win the game, rest your starters, move on to the next one. Third game, Miami Dolphins. We made hard work because the Miami Dolphins are very little much better than the Jets, if at all. And we made hard work at them. Now, you can say it was a divisional game and they were up for it, and yes, they were. They came off a couple of bad losses. Maybe wanted to have some pride in themselves. I don't care if you're going to win a Super Bowl. You're going to have to try, and Tom Brady didn't mess around with these teams. He just beat them, moved on. The Patriots did it. Mahomes does it. So that was it. But we beat them. So we're 3-0. Happy days. Next up, New Orleans Saints. Bad team. Should have done to them like we did to the Jets. Win it in 3 quarters, rest the starters. Playing at home. Don't get me wrong, Spencer Rattler will be a very good quarterback. They've got good weapons there in Kamara and Chris Olave. But it's their first season with their new head coach, and they're a team that's building, and it will take them a few years, no more than it'll take the Jets a few years, and probably the Patriots as well, to get into the real contenders box. The fourth quarter, they were had the ball going down, looking to get a score to go ahead against us. Now, we did stop them, we did win the game, but the cracks were coming. But we were 4-0. Us and the Eagles, the only two teams undefeated. Eagles go the following weekend, lose. We get to play. We could be the only undefeated team. We have the Patriots there. Yes, I know Drake May is a very improving and will be a very dangerous quarterback and will be a very hard guy to beat in a few years' time for us in our division. But he's still a young guy, second year. Stephon Diggs is coming back. New England Patriots. My God, I couldn't write the script myself. And the first play, they played it to him. And that was their target, and that's what he wanted. And us, we did not touch him. And we were pathetic. And our defense was pathetic that night. It would give you a good spot here, a good spot there, and then 2 or 3 bad plays. Our offense would hit a play, get a penalty. Now, it was shocking with the penalties that night. Absolutely shocking. And every time we got a momentum, there was a penalty. But we lost the game 23-20 and deservedly lost it because we were rubbish. I was gutted. I was annoyed. I was angry. I know we're not going to go 17-0. No team, well, it'll be a very rare entity that a team goes 17-0 wins the Super Bowl. It's only ever happened once. And that was 16-0 Miami Dolphins back in the 70s. And my anger was that we have to win these games to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Ravens are slipping up. The Chiefs aren't. They're starting to get improved, but aren't going well. They're your 2 main rivals, and we're messing around with the New England Patriots, who has a first-year head coach. He's a very good head coach, has proven himself at Tennessee, but it's his first year with the New England Patriots as a head coach. And we are not dominating it, and we're not beating them. They beat us. So, lick your wounds, move on, come to last night. First play, Atlanta Falcons, good team. Middle of the road team, good team. If we're Super Bowl contenders, we beat them. End of story. That's the pretext before the game. First play, B. John Robinson gets the ball. We take it off him. We have the ball. Happy days. This the tone. This is what we want. We're moving on. Flag. Stupid flag. They go up. They get a touchdown. Get worried. Get nervous. Not happy. Josh Allen gets on the ball. Interesting to see how we do. Boom, 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 boom. Down we go, get a touchdown. I said, all right, okay. 7-7. Happy days. Now, defense, start. They go back up the field and they get another touchdown. And then we hit the wall. And when I say we hit the wall, we did not use James Cook enough in that first half. And teams have copped to how we play. And we do not have a wide receiver one. And right now, it's as obvious as the glasses on my face that we need a quality wide receiver one that can stretch the play and give other players a chance, because um, Josh Palmer did do it but got injured. But he ain't going to do it on a constant basis. And we need a guy, and I'm not naming names just to go say we should trade for them, because there might not be trades there, but a Chris Olave, A.J. Brown, a Michael Pittman Jr., Godwin or Evans from Tampa Bay, whichever your pick is, Ibuka, the arm of the rookie, but he can do it. He can stretch it. These are the type of players that Terry McLaurin that will stretch the play and will also give space for other defenders, and we don't have that. Kahil Shakir, I love Kahil Shakir, but he ain't going to run the length of the pitch and stretch the play. Keon Coleman, and I have his jersey, and I don't get jerseys that I don't like players. I get them with the players I like. He ain't doing it. He ain't doing it. And I don't know what's his issue, but he ain't doing it. He is the guy that's supposed to stretch the play. And some of the play calls this night were absolute, I don't know, crazy at times. You think I was calling them, and I don't know American football. I know a bit about it, but I don't know the game ins and out, and some of them were daft. But we were lucky to be, and I mean very lucky, to be 21-7 down at halftime. That our defense absolutely was rank. Our offense was rank. Josh Allen was getting frustrated on the sideline. He was getting frustrated on the pitch. The plays were not good enough, and he himself had an off day, and he's human, and he's allowed to have an off day. The thing is, for his one off day, he will not have another one again this year. Whereas for other guys, they're having off days too often, and it's becoming annoying. We get to halftime, we're lucky, and I mean very lucky, to be 21-7 down. We come out in the second half, and we get a touchdown. We bring it back to 21-14. Brilliant. I will say the defense did step up a bit in the second half, but they had to, because they couldn't get any worse. You have another momentum changer where they get a chance for a field goal, and Gregory Rousseau blocks it. We get the ball back on the 40. We should have went down. Like the 2 touchdowns we scored last night, for them set of plays to get them 2 touchdowns, they were as simple and as direct and perfect as you could ask for. James Cook was starting to cook. He was getting through the wall. He was making the yards. He was playing well. And then some of the plays were just absolute mind-boggling. Now, I don't know. I've seen the bookies, and this is me grasping at straws. Joe Brady is tipped to be the Tennessee Titans' next head coach. He's the favorite. Well, he was the favorite yesterday. Maybe there's some play in Joe Brady's head. I don't know. Maybe I'm just grasping at straws. But for me, as a Buffalo Bills fan, and I say it in my little paragraph at the start, because I'm giving out doesn't mean I don't care or don't love them any less. I love them as much as I'll ever love them, if they win or lose or whatever. But I'm giving out here now because I'm calling spades. We're in the opportunity of a lifetime. The Ravens are rubbish right now. They won't be rubbish all the time. The Chiefs are struggling, even though they're getting a couple of wins here and there, and we'll talk about them in a little bit. They're not firing on all cylinders. The Bengals are without Joe Burrow. They're your 3 main threats in the AFC. The Chargers are falling off a cliff, no more than we are at the edge of a cliff now. We could have had the number one seed, and I'm not being disrespectful to the Patriots or the Falcons. We should be 6-0 now, heading into Carolina for next week's game, or not next week's game, heading into our bye, and then Carolina heading in. We should be 7-0 going for the Chiefs. From what I saw last weekend and last night, if we're 4-3 playing the Chiefs, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's absolute madness when you see the Carolina Panthers compared to us. But I saw what the Carolina Panthers did to the Cowboys. If you don't have a defense, they can score. Bryce Young can score. He can sling it. They have players and get scores, and we're not scoring it. So I'm holding back stuff, and I'm letting out stuff. Like our offense, James Cook can walk off that field last night. I did well. Can any other guy walk off? Ray Davis got a touchdown. I think, let me see, the stats are here. He was targeted twice, got 2 balls, and he got a touchdown. Ray Davis, can't say anything bad. They didn't use him as a running back. Kahil Shakir was 3 out of 5. Now, one was thrown in his way for an interception, the first interception of the night for Josh Allen. He had 2 interceptions. I think he should have went forward for that ball. He waited for it, and even in Gaelic football, any man that waits for a ball doesn't get the ball. Someone will cut in front of him. But I love Kahil Shakir. I'm not going to give out to him. Josh Palmer, he was 2 for 2. He did get injured. He was a loss. Dawson Knox got the other touchdown. He was 1 from 2. Shavers was 3 from 5. See, they're not. There's only 1 or 2 guys at 100%. Keon Coleman was 3 from 6. Keon Coleman has to stand up. And out of that 3 from 6, he got 11 yards. Like there's times where players will have a bad day. Josh Allen had a bad day last night, but there'll be proof in the pudding beforehand and after it. Right now, Keon Coleman, I don't see a lot of proof, and as I said, I don't get jerseys of players that I don't like. I like Keon Coleman, but he needs to start stepping up. We had 1 sack last night. We had 2 sacks last night. Excuse me. We had 1 from Solomon, and we had 1 from Ed Oliver. They had 3 last. I had seen. Now they might have had more. We'll see now in a second. The Falcons. Excuse me now. 1 sack, 2 sacks, 3 sacks, 4 sacks. 4 sacks. Our offensive line is struggling, and whether it should be that this the same 4 players that are the line, basically, same 4 to 5 players that are holding the line, and they're used too much and they're getting tired, and they've done a hard season last year and they're going in and it's a hard season this year and there's no right fresh up in it. I don't know. But there was an awful lot of pressure put on Josh Allen last night. And it's something that we're not used to, because last year he was so well protected. He had so much time, and you got the best out of Josh Allen. Now, what is Joe Brady calling with Josh Allen? I don't know. Josh Allen might be going through a little rough spell. Every player has it. That's fine. But he's getting 4 sacks in a game is too many if for a team that's looking to win the Super Bowl. Michael Penix Jr., he played very well last night. Bijan Robinson played very well last night. Drake London, excellent. Pitts, he was brilliant. Like Algiers, the other running back, he had a great game. We need to get more out of our team. And no disrespect to the Falcons, they are a year or so away from really pushing on to build their young team and pushing that NFC South and pushing the NFC to have a go to get a Super Bowl. And I don't doubt at some stage that they will. But right now, it's not their time, it's our time, and we lost to them. We're 4-2 now. We're the fifth seed if there was playoffs today. We'd be the fifth seed. We were the first seed 2 weeks ago. How do I feel? I'm angry. I'm not angry because we lost, because you lose games. I'm angry in the manner. I see lots of people calling for Sean McDermott's head, or Bobby Babbitt's heads, or Joe Brady's head. I've seen sack them all in some people's ideas. For me, I'm not going to ever get into that. If they decide to sack someone, they'll have their reason. If they decide to keep them, they'll have their reasons. Sean McDermott is a very good head coach, but there's something wrong there. It's not the team of last year. Matt Collins, I think, is a huge loss, and he hasn't been replaced. And he brought the energy. You see him on the sideline, he'd be firing guys up. You'd see him on the field. If he made a play, he'd be, letting you have it. We don't have that. And I'm not sorry Stephon Diggs went, and I don't want him back. But we have to get a wide receiver, or we're going to waste this year. And we have to get our defense to start manning up and not have the game be over when they start playing, but be playing at the start of the game so we can get into it and have a chance of winning. I'm not going to name any players. Too much to say. I'm disgusted with them. Everyone has their own opinion of what players aren't playing well, and most of us are on the same opinion. But those guys I think should be going, and those guys we need to get in to replace them. And I know you have the cap and all this, but if we trade at one or two, you'll get one or two. And sometimes fresh faces will bring in fresh momentum. But that's my thoughts on it. As I said, I'm going off 4 hours sleep, so I'm a bit la la. But it's just I put out a tweet or Facebook post today, Instagram post, tweet, and I'm not apologizing for the bad language, because I said in it, nice guys win fucking nothing, and nice guys win fucking nothing. If you're on a football field and you're a nice guy, well done, love you, you're great, but you're bet. And we need to get a ruthless mentality. You look at the Eagles last year, they had the ruthless mentality. Look at the Chiefs the years before, they have a ruthless mentality. We need to get a ruthless mentality, and we need to put it into our games, and we need to go and, you know, be dominant. Be dominant on every side of the ball if you're going to win a Super Bowl, because we might have a year or two. I hope there's 10 years, 20 years, but there won't be. You might have a year or two of this, and then you're back into the churning pot looking to see where the next team is coming from. So they have a bye week. Let's make the most of the bye week and let's get it on. If anything else pops into my head, because there's a lot of things going on there at the minute that I'm trying to either keep in or get out, I'll mention it near the end of the podcast. So let's go to the games from the weekend. So the first game was the Thursday night game. I know I did my video Friday, and I told you that I had picked the Eagles and the Giants, and Jackson Dart and Scadaboo, and Cole blew them out of the water and won 34-17. There was an awful dud of a game in London and Tottenham Stadium. I picked the Broncos. The Broncos won 13-11 against the Jets. There's people calling for Aaron Glenn's head. Don't know why. It's too early yet in my eyes. Justin Fields, they're calling for his head. And the Jets is not a good place. They're 0-6 at the minute. They look to be the worst team in the NFL right now. But I think if Aaron Glenn is going to turn it around, give him this year and give him another off season, and then see where you are this time next year. Then it was the Rams, the Ravens. I did say on Friday night's video that if the Ravens were to win, they need Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson didn't play. He was still out injured. The Rams won 17-3. It wasn't a great game. But Derrick Henry didn't have a great game. And they did try to run the ball a lot. It didn't happen. Then there was a cracker in Carolina. I picked the Cowboys. Cowboys 27, Panthers 30. Panthers fully deserved it. Bryce Young was brilliant, and it's great to see him back. I just hope he stinks in 2 weeks' time. But look at it's he's a guy I like. He's a quarterback I like, and I just want to see him do well. And it's good to see him improving. Then we had the Cardinals at the Colts, and it was Jacoby Brissett that was quarterback for the Cardinals, and he played very well. They were unlucky to lose the last 27-31. I had picked the Colts, but Daniel Jones is still flinging. Now, he had a couple of interceptions, I think, and he had a couple of touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown as well, but the Colts are 5-1 right now. They're the #1 seed in the AFC. Who would have thought that? Fair play. They're playing well. Then you had the Seahawks, the Jaguars. I picked the Seahawks. They won 20-12. Sam Darnold has also proven a lot of people wrong, and I'm delighted for. And the Jaguars had a loss. They're 4-2, so the Seahawks are 4-2 as well. But it was a game where I thought if Trevor Lawrence was going to make a statement against a good team, this is going to be it, and he didn't. Then you have the Chargers, the Dolphins. I'm going to say the Chargers got out of jail here because as bad as the Dolphins are, I think they deserve to win that game because the Chargers were awful. But they won 29-27, and I picked the Chargers to win. Again, huge pressure on Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa also calling out senior players for not attending a players' meeting and a walkthrough and some being late is also not a good thing that's in Miami. Then you had the Browns at the Steelers. I picked the Steelers, the 123-9. It wasn't a great game. Then we had the Patriots at the Saints. Picked the Patriots. The Patriots won 25-19. They're now in first position in the AFC East. Well done. It's our job to knock them off now, and it's our own fault we're there. Then we had the Tennessee Titans at the Raiders. I didn't go into this game much on Friday night because it's basement stuff, and I picked the Raiders. Raiders won 2010. That's all I'm going to say about it. Then there was another great game. It was the 49ers at the Buccaneers. And why I say great is because I'm delighted to say that this, even though he isn't a Buffalo Bills player, but Baker Mayfield, they're calling for him as MVP so far, and rightly so. As much as I love Josh Allen being MVP, and this current season, Baker Mayfield, the plays he made, I think it was 3rd and 14, and then he had Johnson and Johnson as two wide receivers, two low-ranked, I think 6th and 7th choice wide receivers, threw a touchdown to each of them. He is leading this Buccaneers team, and with all the injuries they have, they're doing brilliant, and they won 30 points to 19. Now, I know Mac Jones is quarterback, but Mac Jones hadn't a losing game as quarterback for the 49ers until this weekend. Then you had the Bengals at the Packers, and I picked the Packers, and they won 27-18. I'll be honest, I didn't watch much of this because I hadn't much interest in it. The Packers didn't dominate it, but the Bengals, until they get Joe Burrow back, they're just going to be Raiders in my eyes, or Titans. Then we come to the Lions at the Chiefs. I picked the Lions. Chiefs won 30 points, 17. There was a fight at the end of the game, and their Lions defensive has been banned for a game, suspended for a game. And let me see now. I'll go back in here. Excuse me. And I get the information right. But anyway, I've seen people call, why did he hit him? And some guy pointed out today on one of the programs that, well, Mahomes had, jeered him before the game, during the game. When he scored his touchdown, he went like this, and threw him the shapes. So he didn't want to shake his hands. And then Juju Smith-Schuster must have said something because he wouldn't smack him for no reason. But he got smacked and he got a game suspension. But again, it comes back to not to that play, that was a game over. But there was calls in that game that the Chiefs were getting hometown decisions. And I'm not a Lions fan, so I'm just calling it as I see it. Travis Kelce had a catch. The ball hit the ground. with Travis Kelce on it, and it was ruled to catch. Kahil Shakir had a catch last night. The ball didn't touch the ground. They called it. It had not a catch because in their eyes it touched the ground. It's chalk and cheese, and the Chiefs are getting it again. And Taylor Swift is knocking around, and good luck to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I hope they're happy. I don't wish them any badness. But while she's knocking around there, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be relevant. And they're worth money. She's knocking around. That's it. So, you're fighting straight away a battle that most teams will lose. Dan Campbell took it on the chin the last night. He's not a guy that'll complain or give out about. He criticised his player, said it wasn't good enough, apologised to the Chiefs, and moved on. But I can be sure Dan Campbell will be getting ready for them next time if they get to meet them again. Then we had the Bills and the Falcons. I think I said enough about that one. Congratulations to the Falcons. That's what I will say. And then the Bears at the Commanders. I picked the Commanders. They lost 25-24. It was the last kick field goal. I did not watch much of that. I haven't even seen the highlights, right? I just seen that it was a field goal because I was watching the Bills game, and after that I went to bed. And then I woke up this morning and I was watching bits about the Bills more so than I was watching anything else. And that is it, folks. That is so for the week. I was 9-6. I was 9-3 going into Sunday Night Football, and the three teams I picked after that went bang, bang, bang. No good. But that's the joys. But anyway, folks, that is it. What I hope for between now and playing the Panthers is that in that locker room, in the Buffalo Bills, that players stand up and hold other players accountable if they're not performing. Not leave it to Josh Allen to carry a team, because that will only work so many times. And we are lucky and blessed. We have, in my eyes, the best player in the NFL. And even though he had a bad night last night, that's not he will not have that again. Not this season. And if he does have them this season, then there's something majorly wrong behind the scenes. If you were to ask me what head coaches are in hot seats right now, I will go. And there was a change of head coach. Well, there's a change of the head coach is gone. Where the Tennessee Titans, Brian Callahan, they've let him go, so he's won. He's gone. Who else is in the hot seat? Well, I would say Kevin Stefanski at Cleveland should be. I would say Zach Taylor at Cincinnati should be. I would give Aaron Glenn at the New York Jets another go because it's still his first season and he doesn't have his choice or a rookie quarterback that he can blend into what he wants. We go to the NFC. Brian Dable, not so much now. He was. There's no one in the NFC North. The NFC West, maybe Jonathan Gannon if they don't make the playoffs. And then the NFC South, I wouldn't say there's anyone there that's under any pressure at the minute. But who I would put into the pressure, sorry, I left out Mike McDaniels of the Miami Dolphins. He's in the hot seat. But if we continue like this, I'll give you another name that'll be in the hot seat, is Sean McDermott. And I don't want to see it. But I listen to fans, and fans have been calling for his head in Buffalo for the last 2 to 3 years. It goes away because we have such a good team and we get to certain places, it'll rise again. But right now, there's a lot of fans not happy. And we need to sort out whatever has to be sorted out in these next 2 weeks. And when we hit that field against Carolina, it's a Super Bowl. And we need to blow them out of the water. Defensively, offensively, special teams. No more flags. No more stupid mistakes. Everyone's there long enough. They're practicing every day. Cut out the shit and sort it out. And I do apologize for my language in this, but I could be saying an awful lot more because I'm not very happy. That is it, folks. I've done my ranting. I'll do a video Thursday night or Friday for the games that are on this weekend. And then hopefully I'll do one again next Monday or Tuesday, depending on if the how the games go over the weekend. As in, is Monday night's games worth watching? We'll see when I do the preview Friday night. If they are, wait till Tuesday and do it again. But that's my thoughts, folks. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, it wasn't a great weekend. You have them, but what annoys me is the manner. It's not the loss, it's the manner. And the manner was awful. It's the worst game I have seen the Bills play since I became a Bills fan. But it has been coming, and that's the thing. Sadly, it has been coming. So anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week until Thursday evening. Stay safe, stay happy. Always, my friends, go Bills.